Okay, but that actually, we have to move into Afghanistan and take over the police. We cannot expect Pakistan or the ISI or the jihadi groups inside Pakistan not to have an interest in Afghanistan or export it or set up base or extend. These are unrealistic expectations. Any amount of lecturing to Pakistan is not going to work. So the right way to go about doing is that we take control. We are a superpower. So as a regional superpower, we have to take control of the situation and police it. And if you leave that back home, well, Pakistan Al Qaeda and ISIS will take over. Whether you blame Pakistan or not is moot point. And if Indian army doesn't fill the vacuum, then the jihadis will occupy it, then set up new bases and from there.
Europe, this is their ultimate goal, and that's what they're working toward. And what they say is that all these attacks are practice runs, and unless it's
Which is Akhand Bharat. I keep driving it into internationalists that you're forgetting your ideology, you're forgetting your worldview. You do not look at Afghanistan through borrowed eyes, through the Western media's perspective, or the think tanks from abroad, or your own think tanks, which are socialist and left-leaning, which looks at all this only through economic prism. And so, Modi does a lot of building bridges, building libraries, which was criticized by Trump because he was expecting you to act like a man, act like a superpower. Send the army. It's no point in Modi saying, okay, look at my chest, but the Indian army has to be allowed to do its role to secure India as well as itself, because if it is going to not act in Afghanistan now proactively, and if it is going to wait till the war comes to it, then they'll be sitting ducks for the ISIS. So India has to help Trump to help you. That is my point of view. And a lot of people have this aversion to Trump because basically you do not understand. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is telling Trump is an angel. But you have to understand he's a nationalist at the end of the day. He is a conservative at the end of the day. And he's a patriot at the end of it. And you are all that. You're not a leftist. You're not someone who hates your own army. You're not someone who is a globalist who says that there's no border. And you're someone who's a Hindu nationalist. And so you should appreciate that man's efforts, Trump's efforts to weaken Pakistan. Nobody seems to appreciate that at all. Till Trump started playing your own game back to you, like saying, okay, then if you want, we'll make it an international issue. How can you say that? Well, you're saying that because you're all the time making Nehruvian blunders. You're making the same non-alignment blunders, and that is what making Trump get frustrated. But otherwise, Trump is on the same page as India, and he would love India to become a superpower, police its region. Policing the region is the first step to super. There's no point in saying India is a superpower, India is a super, unless you start policing your maritime territories, waters, the Indian Ocean region, which means Indo-Pacific region. You start acting as a superpower, you police that place. Stand up to another superpower, which is your equal, like head and shoulders above them, and look straight into the eyes like China. So all this cannot happen unless we act like a superpower. We cannot just talk like a superpower. We act like a superpower, and our army starts taking over, and our navy starts taking over the waters, the Indian Ocean, Indo-Pacific waters, and acts like a superpower and stops this there. By policing Afghanistan, there's no other choice as far as I could see it. So I asked Raj.
They would be in a position to carry out quite serious attacks.
Kathy, and well then, as you know, the president has said that he wants to pull.
It's all tied in, of course, as you so rightly say. One of the things with the talks that's going on, and what officials are saying, is that their talks with the Taliban, because the Taliban are.
Friend, today Donald Trump is holding a national security agency meeting, along with his army chief. What is most important about this is that it looks like he has made up his mind to withdraw the American troops as quickly as possible. And despite the resentment from the ground troops there who have made enormous sacrifices and are in a catch-22 position where they have to hand over, they have to withdraw and hand over to the very same Taliban.
As we await this meeting that we are hearing is going to happen, on the possibility of that and where this might lead.
Well, I think it's important that the American people understand what these talks are. This is not the Afghan government talking with the Taliban. This is the United States government negotiating with the Taliban about U.S. troop withdrawal and whether or not the Taliban would facilitate international organizations like Al-Qaeda or ISIS from finding a home in Afghanistan. The reason why I point that out is we're not able to know what the repercussions in the region will be. In other words, we can promise we'll take troops out and we'll do it, but when they promise they won't make Afghanistan a home for a place of home for someone like Al-Qaeda, well, the Afghan government isn't even a part of this negotiation. So how much they'll help us with this and how much we can believe in that is in the air and kind of skeptical at best.
Joey, it leads you down an obvious conclusion here that if you do a deal with the Taliban leaders, how long is it before the Taliban's running Afghanistan again? If that's the case, then we go pre 9/11 then, Joey.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? So a lot of people don't understand that Al-Qaeda is an international terrorist organization.
Former Afghan National Security Advisor Amrullah Saleh has blamed Pakistan for terror attack in Kabul in which 63 people were killed. Saleh is also the Afghan vice presidential candidate. He has alleged that Pakistan is being backed, the Taliban, in fact, is being backed by Pakistan. My colleague Gaurav Sawant is still live with me. Gaurav, you were in fact mentioning this a short while ago.
Like India had never ever seen before. I keep saying this, and for years, there's no way to escape this. Fact that the post-American withdrawal vacuum is coming, and that is what is causing all that. They are withdrawing in phases. The vacuum is getting created, and that is giving them. Empowering the ISIS to go for more attacks and more infringement of the government territories. And this vacuum in Afghanistan is getting filled up by also Pakistan proxies, which is what ISI would like to. It would not like another agency to take over and from there bring a war inside. Rather, ISI will back somebody like the Rabbani network and make them go in and, carve a slice instead of leaving it to ISIS, which may not be friendly to Pakistan at all. And so there's no escaping this coming storm of jihad from Afghanistan other than by Indian army filling up the post-American evacuation.
Pakistan is being cornered from no ends and Kashmir is the only bogey it is holding on to.
Amrullah Saleh is Afghanistan's former national security advisor. He's someone who's very well gelled up with what's happening in the region. He's also President Ashraf Ghani's vice presidential candidate, and he's come out because Afghanistan is very angry. Afghanistan is very hurt. Afghanistan just now is in pain. There have been
So what it obviously means is that we have to step up the security for the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, important pilgrim centers, sacred places, and anticipate Mumbai-style attacks through recruitments. And so it is a very challenging time we are facing, where we have to spend more.
ISIS is expanding into Afghanistan in preparation for attacks on the U.S. and the West. This follows a recent wave of attacks in Kabul.
Officials told the Associated Press that these attacks are practice runs for bigger attacks on American forces. So joining us now from Islamabad.
Bangladeshis, and what they are saying is that it's expanding its footprint, which means it's in the eastern part of the country, it's moving into other provinces, keeping control of heights, from where it will become increasingly easier to plot attacks, to train recruits, to stockpile weapons. And what they're saying is that there have been spate of attacks, so quite daring attacks. And what the intelligence is saying is that these are practice runs. Their goal, like the goal of all
Being
Islamic
a long shot, And ISIS has not so far been able to extract high-profile assassinations as they vowed to kill the American president. But all these are possible now in our neighborhood because the ISIS has the chance now to do both: extract a Mumbai-style mass casualty attack as well as go for high-profile assassinations, which it was unable to do either in the West or against the American president. So this is what we are looking at a much more dangerous situation, and that is why I'm urging for an immediate look into what needs to be done in this escalation on rise of terrorist attacks and that is in our neighborhood.